Hare Krishna, everybody. So, I was just having a me time here in the park, and I was just trying to meditate, and I just saw a couple, and they were discussing about soulmates. It was cute. It was really cute, but we're talking about the deeper aspect of soul. So. Coming to the soul, just now what happened when I saw them, or when they're still there, or what? So what basically happened was really little complicated to explain about the soul contracts. Say now the same couple went through a breakup. Say now they just approached each other, right? And they got committed, and they went through a breakup. One soul was trying to teach another soul something. It's based on soul contract. That's what we say. Either the lessons are taught through a person, alright, who's radiating in the same frequency, or a lesson is actually taught by a soul who has a soul contract even before he incarnated, or even before they decided to stay on the same plane under the same mission, right? So what happens basically is, so what is the soul contract? Soul contract is like as the name itself says, right? It's a contract. So what is a contract? Something that you, even if you willingly can't break it out, right? It's a contract. We already signed it and we need to finish it. It's like unfinished business. You need to complete it, right? So why do souls have a contract? Is because, see, this is a place of this very dense veil of forgiveness in the plane of earth. So basically what happens is, when the souls come, they eventually forget their very own essence and their identity and the place where they really belong and where they really came from and why they really are here and what they are here to do and stuff. So when you completely forget it, how would you remember who are your people now, right? So how would you remember who you are? Only by tapping into the deeper aspect of the inner dimension, which is in other sense way of, I don't want to go there, but let's just get to the main aspect. So basically what happens is, say now I had a contract with somebody, I came down here, and I'll be like, see, at this time we have planned everything before. It's like a blueprint, alright? So there's this blueprint going on. So I know she'll go through this at this particular timeline, and I have to be there because there's nobody gonna be there. Like a major breakup happens, and that's all was just meant to show you the things. It's a law of universe. Under the law of universe, under the law of magic, it's probably falls under the 7th law, I guess. Lesson never learned would repeat by itself, we say. So a soul is trying to teach another soul a lesson, which was meant to be learned and to dissolve in that particular lifetime and in that particular timeline. It was designed as such. Maybe to break the veil, or maybe to break its own karmic structure, or maybe to break, let me not go there, it's another deeper aspect. We'll maybe cook another EP for that, but today we'll just touch on souls, right? So for multiple reasons, they have to break it. It's like, because they have to eventually break it, this life or another. If not, they can't pass it through. It's just like an exam. Just if you can't pass your 10th grade, right, you won't be able to attend colleges. There's much fun in colleges, if you believe to be so, right? So having said that, only by passing the level, you are eligible to proceed ahead. Same with the spiritual journey. So this level of awareness is not inside a person. When this level of awareness is not inside a person, there's this contract based as to, okay, this deity gonna be there at this time to teach me this through this person, or this person who have been with for multiple lifetimes gonna come at this timeline to teach me this particular thing, and they eventually gonna break apart. It's just that they align for a particular time and they teach each other certain things and they go their own path. And they can also be, I mean, they can also travel with the same, they can make it an individual journey if they wish to, is because there's this thing called as free will as well. See, the main two laws in this earthly plane is just the veil of forgiveness and the veil of, free will. We call it a free will. So there's this free will on, even when there are two types of soul, all right? There are two types of souls. One, Kaliyuva Atmagalu, Kalisuva Atmagalu, meaning the soul which is meant to teach and the soul which is meant to learn, all right? So what happens is, the soul which is meant to learn, if they don't have if they are not willing to put the work, they can use their free will. If you want me to give a beautiful example in Krishna consciousness, there's this example of jailer and a prisoner, right? Same way, bro. Big souls which teach, and souls which learn, are meant to learn. So the soul which is meant to learn, if they are not willing to learn from the soul which is meant to teach, they will fall apart eventually. So what happens is, when the soul which is meant to teach enters the life of a soul which is meant to learn, a lot of things will happen, and they'll think like, this man, when I was good by my own, and when he came, everything just the entire script flipped, and it's because it was meant to happen, darling. And when you don't learn by it, right? When they don't learn by it, what happens is, he'll just proceed ahead, because the soul is always evolving, you know. Either they meet by two things. How they meet is now, either it's based on the soul contract, or they're radiating on the same frequency. Say now I'm radiating in the frequency of love, alright? Even she is radiating in the frequency of love, and we meet. What's the time? I really need to go somewhere. I'll be really quick on this. So she, where was I? Yeah. Either we are radiating on the same frequency, that's when we meet, and that's when we align to make things happen. And when another soul decides not to evolve, this particular soul is already making its journey, right? So it's changing its frequencies constantly, right? So either the other soul has to match up, or it has to be willing to evolve. There are two ways to be with big souls. Or I met you because of the soul contract. We just had a contract as to, I'll show you this and I'll teach you this. I'll be in this way so you can learn this. Simple as that. Or I really have to go. I'll finish this entire topic. So there's this other two souls. Super soul and the general soul, meaning in Krishna consciousness we call it the supreme soul and the normal soul, right? Our regular soul. So this is again a deeper topic to tap into, you know. It's okay. Let me just at least get to the surface. And so there's this craving for to touch the soul, to touch the supreme soul. So until and unless you touch the supreme, you will be seeking, you will be going in rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds in the same place, and you eventually will end up nowhere. And that's why this soul step in to show you this. And your bloodline had a say now, it's not a curse, but there was your father or mother. See, whether you want it or not, or whether you like it or not, your bodily structure and the way of thinking is, everything is imprinted in your DNA, right? It's from your parents. So basically what happened is, it's from their parents for them, and it goes on and on and on, right? So basically what happens is, they say now, this is just like an example, right? Say now my father was going through trauma, I'll be going through the same trauma until and unless I heal it. I sit with it. It's called shadow work. So, until and unless only a spiritual guy or a spiritual entity, like a spiritual mate, right, can sit with it, because it's not easy to sit with it and heal it, right? You can change your DNA if you wish to. So what happens is, if you just sit with say now my mother was carrying a depression, to call it in a scientific term, alright? This is just like an example. And my father was carrying some traumas, and my grandfather father had a great fear of society, and my grandmother had an abandonment issue. So all these four are on me. I'm carrying a baggage which is of not mine. Now I'm meant to drop it. If I don't, I'll be giving it to the coming generation. I mean, when I have a kid, I'll be giving it to them. There's multiple ways to heal again, and we heal with it. So you can change your very own face, and you can change your very own body. You can change the very own patterns of your DNA, and you don't belong to the same bloodline anymore. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, logically talking, this would be like, what the fuck is it talking? But it's proven, scientifically it's proven, and we can do it. There's enough of scientific evidence that this can be done in the spiritual aspects. It's not just detachment. They feel it in a very deeper way that he doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong to this home, is because he already changed his home. He already changed his home frequency. That's what it is. You know, they don't understand. We can't tell this all to them. It's really complicated things, so what happens is, so this is what happens. So to break generational curses, it really takes a really big soul to incarnate for that particular bloodline. Especially, see what happened is when I'm getting a call repeatedly. I said I have to go, just a minute. So basically what happens is, when Lord Krishna incarnated in Yaduvamsha, right? So that particular bloodline had a lot to clear out for the upcoming generation, right? So basically they were looking at the people who were milking the cows like they are nothing in the society. So he chose to incarnate there, because that's the very biggest soul, right? So he just like that chose to incarnate there, because there was more density and there was more clearance needed to be happened there. So it's like that. According to your strength, you incarnate to a particular bloodline, because it's meant to be cleared for the coming generation, for the coming souls, because there's so much being there, right? So having said that, that's one main reason. According to the strength, or according to the level of the ranking that the soul holds in the spiritual realm, they incarnate, and they choose their own parents, and they choose the place where they want to be, and they to learn their own lessons as well. So where we did decide, we started with the soulmates, right? I will tell you what the soulmate is. Soulmate is a person who you feel like you have known in the soul level. Say now, a person can have multiple soulmates in one life. I mean, we just had a moment and we somehow touched each other. It doesn't have to particularly be physical in nature. We somehow touched each other, so there's this soul remembrance there, and there's this twinning. I mean, there's this twinning to another soul, and she remembers it. Whenever she looks at me, she remembers it, and she naturally feels so drawn towards me. And the level of attraction, physical attraction especially, is very much intense, is because she remembers the feel, how it is to be touched again, and she craves it, because there's a sense of home again, and she feels safe there. So that is why they get drawn to each other in a very intense way, especially in a physical way. But it's not happening physically, it's happening in a spiritual way, and she is not able to understand it. As soon as a soul recognizes another soul, see, just by looking at it, just by looking like that, we get so drawn towards a particular individual, is because Yeah, that's your soulmate. And that doesn't mean you have to be with them. Especially a big soul is choosing to come down. He brings a lot of people in. Okay, we'll touch all these aspects in the coming days. So this is like a soulmate, all right? So you feel intensely drawn towards them, and that's what is happening because there's a remembrance towards them. As soon as you look at them, there's a remembrance and there's a craving of, there's this thing called a soul tribe as well. So what is the soul tribe? Soul tribe are the people who are of the same bloodline. Say now, just like my people, right? I mean, my father is like my bloodline, right? I mean, I'm his bloodline, right? So what happens is, just like that, there's this soul tribe. Meaning, they're from the same soul who lives in the same plane, does the same thing under a same mission. And they incarnate at the same timeline for a particular reason to accomplish a mission. So this is a soul tribe. So there's a sun, and the soul tribe, intimacy is really different. I mean, it really hits hard, you know. There's this sense of feel as to, yeah, tribe. I'll go there. This is like a little deeper aspect. I'll go there in the coming days. And talking about the soul tribe and the soulmates, there's this thing called as twin flame. Now this is where you can get settled down to, because a twin flame is very different. It's not like a soulmate. It's like a twin flame is made up of the same element. All right, she is made up of the same essence, just like Shiva and Shakti, right? They're not apart. Just like in every masculine, there's a feminine hidden. Feminine energy, we call it. So in every feminine, there's a masculine energy. That is what we call as Shiva Shakti. I mean, that is what even Sri Krishna says, I'm not complete without Radha, right? So it's like that. When everything is on, it's a whole. When something is off, it's not the whole, right? Krishna is obviously his whole, but what I'm trying to say is, Radha is him, right, in a feminine body. That's what I mean to say, darling. So basically what happens is, this is like twin flame. So she's of the same, it's Krishna in a feminine body. There's this massive pull there. I mean, you won't settle anything for less once you experience it. So I'm many it's really fine to align with twin flame, is because they teach a lot of lessons to each other, and they are making their individual journey at the same time, and they are here for a particular reason. And obviously you can settle down if you want to, but again, as there's this thing called as free will, there are many elements added in, and never settle down anything lesser than what you deserve. And even before that, what I mean to say is, never settle down anything lesser than what you deserve is, never settle down for anything material, because it never fulfills your soul. That's what I mean to say. And happiness is different and fulfillment is different. This only leads to material desires, only leads to happiness, and spiritual aspects leads to the ecstasy. You will never understand it until you touch it. So having said that, it's time for me to go now. We'll talk about this in the coming days, maybe step by step. As we go deeper, you'll be okay. Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Just don't be confused as to as you listen to this, and just don't be confused as to, yeah, this might be my soulmate. Oh yeah, this might be my soul tribe. Oh, this is like a twin flame. No, bro, just be there. Radiate in your own frequency. They will align. All right. So never lower your vibration for somebody to match you. That doesn't work that way. You are you, and you're willing to evolve all the time, and you're aware of it, and you're conscious about it, and you're just walking the path. People come and people go. People are there, and people are that is really meant to be with you, and that is really meant to walk in your path will naturally be there. Alright, Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Have a Krishna conscious week ahead, everybody. Love you all.